You think you know Roman Reigns? You think you understand the man who dominates WWE programming, who commands the ring as the tribal chief, who seems untouchable with every spear and Superman punch. But the truth is far more complicated and far more human than anything fans have ever seen on television. The story of Roman Reigns, real name Joe Anoa'i, is not one of titles, championship reigns, or storyline supremacy. It is the story of a father confronted with a nightmare that no one should ever have to face. A parent watching their 2-year-old daughter fight for her life, not once, but twice. And when you learn what Roman endured, it may forever change the way you view this man, both as a performer and as a human being. The nightmares. Behind the spotlight, while fans debated whether Roman's matches were stale or whether he was overpushed, his personal life was unraveling in ways that no WWE storyline could ever capture. At the peak of his dominance in 2022, when he was Universal Champion and seemingly untouchable in the ring, Roman's world turned upside down. His daughter, Joelle Anoa'i, just 2 years old, was diagnosed with a congenital heart defect, a condition that posed an immediate threat to her life. A congenital heart defect is not merely a medical inconvenience, it is a ticking time bomb that can leave even the strongest adults feeling powerless. For Joelle, this meant hospital rooms, medical monitors, intravenous lines, and procedures that no toddler should ever endure. Roman, the man fans booed for his character work, or labelled as overrated, was sitting beside her, helpless, watching her struggle with a fragility and vulnerability that no wrestling opponent could replicate. The invincible tribal chief suddenly found himself powerless. The heart transplant that shook a champion. The diagnosis escalated quickly. Doctors informed Roman and his wife that Joelle would require a heart transplant, a procedure so serious that the stakes were nothing less than life and death. Roman, accustomed to being in control of his world in WWE, had to confront the stark reality that there was nothing he could do in that moment to protect his daughter other than be present, support her, and hope for a miracle. The surgery itself was a success, but the experience left an indelible mark on Roman. He returned to performing as WWE's top star, carrying the weight of fear, anxiety, and gratitude for a life that had been saved by someone else's generosity. Each time he stepped into the ring, the cheers of the audience masked the invisible burden he bore, a burden far heavier than any championship belt or storyline accolade. Life's cruelest twist. Childhood cancer. Just as the Anoa'i family began to breathe easier following the transplant, life delivered another devastating blow. Joelle was diagnosed with leukemia, a childhood cancer that is as aggressive as it is terrifying. Now, Roman faced a second unimaginable challenge. His little girl, already weakened from a major heart surgery, had to endure the rigours of chemotherapy, hospital visits, and the emotional toll of yet another life-threatening condition. For Roman, this was more than a storyline. This was a test of endurance, faith, and courage, unlike anything he had experienced inside the squared circle. Fans who had once critiqued his every promo, mocked his victories, or dismissed his dominance, suddenly had to confront the reality that the man they saw on TV was grappling with a fight far greater than any audience could see. Strength beyond the ring. Throughout these harrowing months, Roman demonstrated a type of strength that no WWE match could replicate. He became his daughter's unwavering support system, holding her hand during treatments, comforting her through sleepless nights, and offering a presence that provided emotional stability when the world seemed unbearably cruel. His personal resilience became an inspiration to those around him, revealing a side of Roman that had nothing to do with scripted victories or championship accolades. This period of vulnerability also reshaped his public persona. Roman began using his platform to raise awareness about childhood diseases and organ donation, not for personal gain, but to support other families facing similar hardships. The WWE community and fans responded in kind. Hashtags like #JoelStrong and #ChampionHeart began trending as fans rallied behind the Inouye family, demonstrating compassion that transcended the usual face versus heel dynamics of professional wrestling. A wrestling community united. What happened next was extraordinary. Fans who had spent years criticizing Roman's work ethic, match quality, or booking suddenly saw him in an entirely new light. Wrestling personalities across the industry, from former champions to analysts, expressed solidarity. Fundraising efforts and awareness campaigns for Joel's condition spread rapidly across social media, illustrating the profound impact that real human stories can have on a fanbase. Roman continued performing, showing up in the ring night after night, all while carrying the invisible weight of his daughter's health struggles. Every spear, every promo, every title defense was now performed by a man who understood real suffering and real stakes. Far beyond scripted rivalries,